The movies in question are Americana and The Housemaid, one an ensemble and another a solo act. In the movie Americana, set in the New Mexico desert, several different players race to get their hands on the MacGuffin, a sacred Native American artifact worth $1 million. Sydney Sweeney plays the role of a humble waitress, Penny Jo Boplin, with ambitions to become a country music singer, who befriends a friendly patron Lefty who promises to help her achieve her dream. And together they set out on a road trip to get their hands on the money to make it possible. Throughout the movie, Sydney's character Penny Jo speaks with a stammer and makes it sound so natural that I wondered if that is how she really spoke. Until then, I hadn't seen her in anything where she had spoken at length, because understandably, my focus was on more important things like plot and storyline. Her roles in Euphoria, The White Lotus, and a few movie clips seen here and there didn't really feature lengthy dialogues. After this movie, out of curiosity, I searched on the internet and found interviews of her where she had spoken at length and fluently, and for the entire length of this movie, she had me convinced she couldn't. Now that's range right there, and she should be appreciated for her performance. For much of the movie, she remains understated, quietly working to fulfill her dreams and not trying to indulge in any histrionics. While Americana was an ensemble with many talented and veteran actors with great performances, The Housemaid is a solo act where the movie depended on the abilities of its biggest star to see it to the finish line, and she did it with style. Here, Sydney Sweeney plays the role of Millie Calloway, a housemaid with a questionable background which she is trying to hide to get hired. That background being that she is on parole for manslaughter and has to find and hold a job. Otherwise, she would be sent back to jail. Turns out, her employer Nina Winchester is aware of her background and hires her because that is exactly what she is looking for, because of her own reasons. Sydney's character Millie starts working in that house, taking care of Nina, her daughter Cece, and husband Andrew. Her employer Nina slowly turns the heat on her and exposes her background and accuses her of infidelity with her husband. The husband surprisingly turns on his own wife and throws her out of the house and embraces the new girl. Sydney's character Millie falls for the man and starts living there, and everything seems to be floating in heaven until the man reveals his true self as an obsessive control freak and abuser, making her realize what the previous woman who hired her was going through behind the shiny facade of domestic bliss. Andrew locks her in the attic and makes her cut her abdomen once for each plate piece she shattered in the kitchen. Finding no exit, Millie does as she is told, announces she is done, and when Andrew opens the door to check her work, she distracts him, stabs him, and locks him in the same room, ordering him to pull out one of his front teeth with pliers. At the same time, Nina, consumed by guilt, sneaks back into the house and, seeing the attic light on, assumes that Andrew has locked Millie there just like he had done to her, and opens the door just before Millie races back up the stairs to stop her. Andrew, now free, attacks both women with intent to kill them. In the ensuing fracas, Millie finally manages to push him off the balcony to his death. Nina helps cover it up by dropping a light bulb, hoping to make it seem like Andrew fell while trying to install it, and later gives Millie a $100,000 check to help her start a new life out of prison. The movie depended on its star delivering a solid performance, and she did it with style, convincing that behind her character's quiet demeanor was a coiled spring which could instantly lash out if needed. The movie was a big box office success, making a worldwide total gross exceeding $400 million on a budget of $35 million. That's a very healthy return with critical acclaim, which makes Sydney Sweeney one of the big bankable stars who can deliver a hit on her own performance and charisma and not merely a pretty face.